Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tavon Knows Wrestling. And today I am going to be talking about what crazy episode of Monday Night Raw we saw last night. I don't even know where to begin. It's just, I enjoyed everything from that episode from start to finish. And I'm not going to lie. During this whole Triple H era, he's had some banger episodes and he had some episodes. But that episode of Monday Night Raw felt like it excited me for the rest of what 2024 has to offer. And yes, not every single thing that happened was 10 out of 10. But in terms of every single thing that episode had to offer, it was so much to enjoy. And I'm finna just go over some of the stuff. Well, I'm gonna say the best for last, because I'm pretty sure we all know what I'm gonna talk about at the end. But let's just talk about Seth Rollins first. Seth Rollins came back earlier than expected. I did not know Seth Rollins was gonna come back this early. Seth Rollins just had to take some time off from having to do double duty at WrestleMania, and his leg was pretty torn up, pretty badly. And then you saw shortly after, Becky Lynch also went because she wanted to take some time off. So, all of us thinking, okay, while Seth is recovering and while Becky is finally taking her long deserved break, maybe they both just going to take some time off together and we might not see neither of them for a good while. Obviously, Seth was going to come back sometime this year, but I didn't know it was going to be that early. Like, Seth didn't even feel like he was gone for that long. So seeing him really surprised me. And then you had Damian Priest come out, and I thought that was kind of interesting how they're already putting Seth back inside the world title picture. And I have no problem with that, especially with how they promo it. I like their little promo exchange, and I like how Seth compared himself to Damian. Because when Seth said, you know what, Damian, me and you are a lot alike. I'm with, huh? A lot alike. And then he listed all the things about how they both was in groups where they got their big first success, how they both won Money in the Bank. They both did it at the grandest stage of all time to win their first world title. And I'm like, oh, okay. When you think about it, they is kind of alike then in terms of a booking stance. And then when Seth said the only difference between us is I went on to become my own man. You haven't. And I'm like, damn. And I already knew what was coming next. Damian challenged Seth Rollins for the world title to prove that he don't need Judgment Day to be his own man. No Judgment Day, nothing, just them two at Money in the Bank, and I'm all for that. So Seth being back, being inside the world title picture, and it leaves you a big question because you know that the winner gonna have to face Gunther at SummerSlam for the world title, and then you got Seth history with CM Punk. So it makes you question: what if Seth wins at Money in the Bank and then retains against Gunther? So that way, eventually, when we get that dream CM Punk versus Seth Rollins feud, it will be for the world title. But we can save that fantasy booking for another video, okay? Next, and like I said, it's so much to talk about. So I'm not even going in order. I'm just going off of the things that pop up inside my head next. Next, we got to talk about Drew McIntyre, yo. When Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest fought at Clash at the Castle, we all knew, or at least wanted CM Punk to get involved in some type of way. But how he got involved is a different story. I did not know that they was going to have this man dress up as a referee to interfere. I thought it was just going to be some kind of, attack. Like Damian Priest knocks out the ref, and obviously the Judgment Day is banned. So maybe CM Punk going to come out here and try to brawl with Drew. But no, coming out in the ref outfit and then seeing Drew face after that whole match was written perfectly. So kudos to Triple H. That whole match was just great. And then that had me excited for the next Raw. Like, what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw now? Or what is Drew going to say to Punk? And they just hit us with a whole twist. He didn't say nothing to Punk. He just said, screw this company. I'm tired of this. I quit. And that is so perfect. And it's perfect as in you don't really have to rush, because I've been said it. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk is a big pay-per-view worthy match. Since Mania is kind of far away, do it at SummerSlam. The next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank. And yes, you know WWE, sometimes they drag out feuds. So yes, they didn't have to go with the I Quit storyline. They could have just kept dragging it out into SummerSlam. But why drag it out when you can build more emotion going into the match? We already saw for the past months, Drew McIntyre has been obsessed with CM Punk. And now it looks like he's becoming depressed. He literally quit just because CM Punk kept screwing him. And CM Punk is this close to getting cleared. He hinted that on Friday night, this Friday on SmackDown, he's going to look to drop some good news to everyone. And I think that news is going to be he's cleared. So, obviously, in kayfabe, obviously Drew McIntyre is going to be watching at home. And when he hears this, he might take a little 2 weeks at home or something, or eventually he's going to get tired of Punk having the last laugh. He's going to come back, and hell, here's how I would write it. You have Punk qualify for Money in the Bank. And then at Money in the Bank, that's when Drew McIntyre shows up, makes his return, and smashes Punk head with the ladder over and over and over again. And for all of my OG CM Punk and Paul Heyman fans, y'all know exactly what I'm describing. Y'all know exactly what I'm describing. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all know exactly what I'm describing. Take the ladder, smash his head over and over again. Ooh, it'd be perfect. And that's how you start building up to SummerSlam. Oh my God. So let me see. I got CM Punk out of the way. I got Seth Rollins. Not CM Punk. I meant to say Drew McIntyre. Same difference. I got Drew McIntyre out of the way. Great segment. I got Seth Rollins out of the way. Great segment. Let's talk about the qualifying matches now. Jey Uso going to Money in the Bank. I don't mind it, but I just don't want him to win. I'm not a Jey Uso hater. I promise you. I love Jey Uso. I love to yeet all the time. But I just feel like he don't need Money in the Bank. Especially if, and this is a big if the Bloodline Civil War is happening this year, it's going to start building up at some point in time. It's probably going to start building at SummerSlam. Who knows? We don't know how long that Roman Reigns is going to be gone. But obviously, with the Bloodline Civil War, it's going to be Solo's Bloodline versus Roman Reigns' Bloodline. Obviously, it's going to be Jay and Jimmy helping out Roman Reigns, reuniting, giving that big all moment that we all want. And while all that has happened, Jey Uso don't need a briefcase. Use that to elevate some other superstar that needs it. So, like I said, I'm not a Jey Uso hater, but that is why I don't want him to win Money in the Bank. I know a lot of people want him to win because he can do a first big thing inside his solo run. But, hey, it's just not good timing to me. Hey, you can have the Bloodline Civil War match happen, and then that can be the last time you see Roman, Jimmy, and Jay together. And Jay, that's when he can go on after that, probably in 2025, to win a big title, you know? There's other things he can do. Hell, win the World Rumble. Win the World Rumble. Hey, 2025, Jey Uso winning the World Rumble, I don't mind. Y'all tell me inside the comments if y'all like mind that or not. But anyway, and then the next qualifier, I think Braun Strowman. I said I think. I'm not sure. I think Braun Strowman qualified for Money in the Bank. And I'm not going to lie, I'm bored as hell as Braun Strowman. So I'm not even going to cover that. I'm bored of Braun. Like, if I had to pick out the most boring moment of all that episode, Monday Night Raw, it was seeing Braun Strowman. Like, you know how I said, like, I'm not a Jey Uso hater? I'm a Braun Strowman hater right now. I don't care. And I'm allowed to be a hater because I've been a fan of him since day one. But ever since this man has had his recent return, he has been boring. So, excuse me. And then you got the women's stuff. And like I said, I'm not going over everything that happened on Raw in order. I'm not going over it in order because it's so much crazy that's happening. But next, I'm going to cover the women's stuff. I love the fact that Io won her match to qualify for Money in the Bank. I love that because when I was watching the match, I remember being inside a Discord VC with some wrestling bros. We was all talking about who should win, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? Liv Morgan is currently feuding with Vega right now. So it would be kind of stupid if Vega won a qualifying match when she's feuding with the champion. Because the match was Io versus Vega versus James. So I'm like, okay, exit Vega out of this. She does not need to be an option. So now you got Kiana and then you got Io. So I'm like, so between them two, please excuse the noise. I hear an ambulance passing by. Hope you're okay. Now, between Io and James, I almost called her Kalani, but Io is having a little story right now where it looks like she's getting tired of Damage Control. And that's because they're failing over and over. And just like how y'all made fun of Solo for being like, losing must come with punishment when he lost all his matches this year. But we do not need a female Solo. We do not need a quote unquote leader to try to punish a group for losing, but yet you're a jobber too. So the only way that this Damage Control story with Io is going to make sense is if she's being the breadwinner. Now, I'm not saying go on to win Money in the Bank again. No, I do not like when people do stuff twice back to back. I feel like they take opportunity away from others who can shine. I don't want Io to win Money in the Bank, but I'm glad that she qualified for this for the sense of her being mad at Damage Control. Excuse me. Next, we gotta talk about Otis and Chad. Now for everyone who is subscribed to me, I'm pretty sure y'all saw my short I posted. Like I said, I watched most of Raw with some of the bros in VC. So when I saw that Chad Gable snatched away Maxine's crutch, I was like, hold on, be right back, y'all. I left the call so fast and I whipped out my phone so fast. I wanted to record my reaction to that. And y'all probably like, why record a reaction to that moment? Because that is so many storylines on Raw going on right now. And two of my favorite storylines is Otis and Chad and Liv and Dom. I also love Drew and Punk too. Don't get me wrong, I love Drew and Punk, but you know, until Punk is cleared, that would get a bit more exciting to me after. But hey, I'll save that topic for another video too. But back to Chad and Otis. When I saw that he snatched, first of all, just give y'all a little context for those who missed Raw. Chad Gable has been losing his mind for a couple of weeks. He's tired of failing, and he's tired of losing to Sammy. And I'm pretty sure y'all caught up with all the things he put Alpha Academy through. But at Clash of the Castle, he was upset because Akira Tozawa wasn't there. And I called it. Now, I don't know in real life, I don't know like if Tozawa had flight issues or not. But like, I'm not thinking about real life. I saw that like in the kayfabe booking. And when I saw them doing their entrance, I went, hey, where's Tozawa? I'm not lying to y'all. I was calling this from watching Clash. I was like, where's Tozawa at? What if Tozawa is not here on purpose so that Chad Gable could be mad at him because of that? And then I was thinking about a second theory. I was like, wait, no, what if Otis turned on Chad at Clash of the Castle, and that's why Tozawa is not here, because he's not supposed to be written like in that. Like he's not supposed to be involved in that. The turn's supposed to be just about them two and Maxine. Either way, I had two different theories, but I knew that Tozawa wasn't supposed to be there for a reason. And like I said, it'd probably be because of flight issues. I'm probably just looking too deep into it, but fuck it. I'm a fan. I'm going to look deep into everything. And when I saw that Tozawa wasn't there and then he lost, I was like, okay, I can't wait for Raw. I can't wait to see how Chad reacts. And you saw Chad, he jacked up Tozawa's shirt like that. And I'm like, okay, he's frustrated at him. So you fast forward to Chad having a match. He lost. And bro, like I said, I'm like, yo, when I saw him, like I said, y'all saw my reaction. I don't have to explain. Y'all can just go watch my YouTube shorts. But I will give y'all the fast sum up of how I reacted. So he pushed Tozawa to the ground, and that's when Otis slowly turned around. And when I say I marked the fuck out, I marked the fuck out, bro. I don't care. I was waiting for Otis to whoop that ass for weeks. And he didn't technically whoop his ass. He just pushed him to the ground. But hey, that's better than nothing. So when he pushed him to the ground, I was like, yeah, Otis, that's what I'm talking about. Get your family, bro. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. And like I said, I haven't even got to the main thing yet. Because like I said, we all know. Everyone who watched Raw last night, we all know what I'm finna talk about at the end. But I haven't even got to that yet. And don't this episode already sound crazy? Oh my God. I feel like I'm missing something. I can't remember it from my head. I feel like I'm missing something. And once I post this video, I'll probably go back and be like, damn, but I forgot to talk about that. But the reason why I forgot is because so much crazy shit is happening, bro. And that's why I say I'm probably going to title this video Craziest Episode of Monday Night Raw. But because it was so much to enjoy, bro. And this is what I'm talking about. SmackDown needs more storylines, bro. But anyway, I'll say SmackDown for another video. But so, and then you had little small stuff, because obviously not every single thing has to be big. You got to have some small stuff. So one of the small things was Sheamus is still feuding with Ludwig. And I will say this. I love that Ludwig is getting solo attention because my dude is a G. My dude's a G. Anyone who don't like Ludwig, click off the video. You're lame. So Ludwig is cool. And then you got the feud with Karrion Kross continuing with Xavier. He challenged Kofi Kingston. Well, he challenged both of them to a match, but then he said he hoped it's Kofi. So Kofi responded right after. Next week on Raw, it's going to be Kofi versus Kross. No interference. Everyone banned from ringside. So I like that, and I'm not going to lie. This is one of the small storylines WWE just doing like on the side. And sometimes them small storylines be dope. Because I'm going to be real. I don't know what I want to happen. Usually in storylines as a fan, you know what you want to happen, or at least you think you know. But for this one, I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want Xavier to stay with Kofi because New Day has been loyal for years, or if I want Xavier to turn on Kofi, but he don't have to join Final Testament. It's just Xavier realizing, yeah, I never really did anything big on my own. Or he joins Final Testament, but I'm gonna be real. Final Testament is kind of an ass group. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to fucking ruin Xavier inside that group. So have Xavier turn on Kofi, but he don't have to join the group. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want Xavier to be like, I'm done. And it don't even gotta be like a heel. It don't even gotta be a fucking Shield type breakup. Chair shots. Yeah. No, you don't have to have them. You don't have to have Xavier and Kofi break up in a bad way. Just have Xavier go up to Kofi and be like, I have to be my own man. I have to do something before my career is over. And I hope you can understand that. And Kofi Kingston, he understands because they're brothers, bro. They're tight. They have a bond. So, like I said, I don't know what else I'm missing. I feel like I got over all the major stuff. I'm really trying to think. Dragon Lee had a match, but I don't care about Dragon Lee. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but if I had a list of top 5 most boring WWE superstars to me right now, he's probably number 2. Blair Davenport is number 1. So if you're a Blair fan, go cry me a river. So I think I covered all the stuff on Raw. And like I said, anything I didn't cover, you can't blame me. So much stuff has happened. So with that being said, with me thinking I covered everything, it's time to talk about the main shit. The Wyatt 5. The Wyatt 5. Y'all remember for months, like even when Bray was still alive, RP to his beautiful soul. But you know how he's always said the Wyatt 6? Before I describe everything that happened, I'm going to just keep that inside your head. The Wyatt 5 debuted last night. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let me tell y'all what happened. Jey Uso just won his Money in the Bank qualifier match. He was eating with the crowd, you know, the Fireflies. And I thought out of every single person that the Wyatt 5 can interrupt, Jey Uso was a perfect person. Because you remember at Backlash, Jey Uso said, and I quote, "These Fireflies are mine now." And he didn't mean that like in a heel way or anything like that. He meant that just out of a love way because the crowd, you know, they really did that for him and that meant a lot to him. But knowing that he took, you know, the Firefly thing, well, I ain't gonna say he took, but, you know, like he's like embracing that the crowd, you know, loves him that much. They give him that type of Firefly entrance and all that and support. And y'all saw what JoJo said. Y'all saw what JoJo said. She said like that meant a lot to her too. So it was just a very emotional like night when it came to Jey Uso. And I don't know how close Jey and Bray was in real life, but that was a really good moment. So you fast forward to Monday Night Raw last night, and out of all the people that they can interrupt, they interrupt him. I just thought that was perfect. Obviously, they didn't attack him or anything, but they just interrupted him, and I thought that was nice since, you know, the whole lights out, Firefly things was happening, because that's what they're calling it now. That's like every time Jey Uso be celebrating and y'all see like everyone with their lights, apparently that's just his Fireflies now. So y'all can take that how y'all want it. I think it's kind of sweet, I guess. But the lights went off and you already knew what time it was. You saw that door that Bray Wyatt came through, and I was just like, oh my God, that was so perfect. And then you went, and I'm not going to lie. Y'all can call me a pussy. I'm not going to lie. But when I saw, we all know it's Nikki Cross, but I'm trying to think about the character name. I think that's going to be Sister Abigail. I could be wrong. So since I don't know for sure, I'm just going to say Nikki Cross. When I saw Nikki Cross crawling up to me, my heart dropped. She was scary, bro. I'm not going to lie. She was scary. Woo! And then when she pointed to the back, and I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And you just saw all the bodies on the floor. You just saw blood everywhere. The whole gorilla messed up. And just to point out some of the bodies that we saw, I think I saw Braun Strowman. I think I saw Gunther. It was someone else I think I saw. And it's just funny how those was two of them, because, you know, Gunther, you know, he's a beast. Now, obviously, I don't think we were supposed to see him. He was supposed to be just like an extra body. So next time you see Gunther, he's probably not going to mention the Wyatt 6 at all. He's not going to mention them because I don't think that like we were supposed to see him. But that was just a funny picture, because I saw that on a post actually. It was like, hey, yo, bro, they got my boy Gunther. And then we saw Chad Gable, and bro, I'm like, bro, heel or face, they're going after everyone, and I love it. And then we saw some of the people, and all the rumored people was Dexter, Joe Gacy, Eric, and I could tell that was all of them. I could tell that was Dex on the right. Like after they all got together and did they pose, I could tell that was Dex on the right by his arm shape and his tattoo. I could tell that was Eric holding the hammer, because for some reason he got a weird obsession with hammers. For those of y'all who saw the Bludgeon Brothers, you know what I'm talking about. Obviously, Nikki Cross being short and kind of pale, you know that's her. Joe Gacy, I'm not gonna lie, I never liked Joe Gacy. So with that being said, I never paid attention to him enough to know how he looks. But I guess that's Joe Gacy, because he did this. And I think that was one of his poses he used to do in like NXT back when he was leading Schism. I think this was one of his poses. So I could tell that was him. So yeah, it was all the rumored people. And obviously like Uncle Howdy is Bo. So I don't have to describe him. But the way that they did that whole scene, how he came in, oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. I would be the first to admit, I was running out of patience with this Uncle Howdy stuff. All them codes every week for months, I did not care about that. And I remember over and over saying, if Uncle Howdy does not debut tonight, I'm officially done. And obviously everyone always say they done, but they still watch. No, I would have actually been done. That's how much patience I've had with Uncle Howdy. And with that being said, I'm just gonna say it was the coolest shit I've seen in years. So I'm glad I waited, because that lived up to the hype. That lived up to the hype. And I'm probably just saying this like in the moment, but I don't care. That's the coolest shit I've seen in years. At least in terms of debuts and returns. That is the coolest shit I've seen in years. I loved everything. And then when they came out, dun, 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 dun. I love that they're keeping, because if y'all notice, they wasn't using Uncle Howdy's theme song or no new theme song. They was using Bray's last theme he had. And if they keep that theme, oh, I would love it. If it wasn't obvious yet, I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. So just seeing the tributes, oh, don't get me started. I might cry. Especially at the end when they said, "We're here." I wanted to cry. But now that I've talked about all that, I want to throw out a theory that I heard. So it was 5 people, but it's supposed to be the Wyatt 6. And it was every single person that was rumored. Someone said that the 6th member is supposed to be Bray Wyatt's soul inside the lantern. And if that's the case, I think that's perfect. It is beautiful and I don't mind it. But if that's not the case, because it's still a theory at the end of the day, so if that's not the case and we waiting for a big member, I'm going to throw out, it has to be Alexa Bliss. I said it. I know some people like, well, Alexa Bliss spent all that time going through this change to finally get away from it. Nigga, who cares? When Sister Abigail took over her, who's there to say that the spirit can't always live in her? And now that she got all these dark forces back, who's to say Uncle Howdy can't get inside her head and make her join him? Hell, even be a partner with her. Hell, who there? Maybe we might see Alexa Bliss actually lead. But that's just something that I would want to see out of all the WWE superstars that can join them. I know y'all probably have some people in mind. I know the first person that comes to y'all mind is Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is the first person that comes to everyone's mind. Let's be real, because he was a Wyatt family member. But fuck Braun. That nigga boring now. I don't care. Like I said, I'm a certified Braun hater right now until they give this man something better. But anyway, let it be Alexa Bliss. And they can use the logic that that the spirit of Sister Abigail was always in her. And there's something else inside Nikki Cross. That don't gotta be Sister Abigail. But yeah, everything was perfect. This was a crazy episode of Raw. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been saying for a good while that Raw has been smacking SmackDown. But oh my God, now it's the best show. It's the best show. It is the best show. And y'all can call me a mark. Y'all can call me a fanboy. But I want y'all to tell me on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, TNA, NXT, SmackDown. I want y'all to tell me any other major wrestling show that y'all watch weekly. I want y'all to tell me how many big ass storylines is actively happening on their show that people actually care about. Speaking of sports, my bad. Speaking of storylines, I forgot one. Liv and Dom. The way that Liv took Dominic's jacket, And when Damian caught them, obviously they're just dragging out this whole Liv and Dom stuff until Rhea return. But I do like when Damian said I have to call Rhea. Because like I said, we all know that when Rhea returns, it's over with for Liv. And that's just what I'm talking about. The fact that there's so many big storylines going on Raw right now. No other show is doing it like this. It's okay to, like, this is just my opinion at the end of the day. Y'all don't have to agree with me. Y'all can say, you got some people that say Dynamite is the best. You got some people that think TNA the best. You got some people that prefer SmackDown or NXT. But my reason why I prefer Raw is because I'm a storytelling guy. I like storylines. I prefer storylines over 5-star matches any day of the week. And Raw has given us so much of that. So much. This is the first time in a long time that it feels like every single thing on Raw actually matters. Like literally the only random thing was probably Carlito versus Dragon. Well, that's not even random. That's not even random. Dragon Lee and Carlito have history. So yeah, every single thing was either a qualifying match for Money in the Bank, which is important because you're building up a pay-per-view, or it was something that dealt with a feud storyline or something big. There was nothing bad or wasted on Raw. There was no filler on Raw. Everything was good. Hell, even the Braun Breaker versus Sheamus stuff. Braun Breaker wanted to be next for Sami Zayn. And then Sheamus is like, you can't cut the line, kid. Because that is something that like I had forgot to talk about. My bad, guys. It's just come back to my mind now. And I ain't gonna lie, I forgot who won. I think Braun Breaker won, though. I only forgot who won because I think I left my room when that was happening. I had to go do something. And Braun Breaker is the hottest rising star right now. Out of all the NXT call-ups, Braun Breaker is the hottest rising star. So him being inside title picture right now, some people may say it's too early. I think it's probably early too, but who the fuck cares? It's Braun Breaker. We all like him. So it's like, what on Raw is bad? To all the people who dislike Raw right now, tell me why Raw is bad. Tell me why Raw is bad. And don't say just because, it's boring to me. Lame answer. I'm not accepting that. Unless you break down what makes Raw boring to you or bad, I don't want to hear it. Raw got, like I said, we all got opinions. And right now, in my personal opinion, Raw is the best show in wrestling today. And I'm not just saying this because of this one episode. I'm saying this because of the past few months. At least ever since WrestleMania, the best shows has always went up and down. It was always NXT, Dynamite, Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Raw, because NXT have been slapping. But now, it's so much going on. All the other shows is right here. Dynamite is right here. TNA could be like right here, right next to it. Then you got SmackDown, could be right down here. And then you got like NXT that's up here. And Raw was right here next to NXT. But after this episode, Raw is at the head of the table. And it definitely got me excited for the rest of 2024. So with that being said, everyone, I think that was one of the best, that was the best episode of Monday Night Raw in years. And don't ask me when. Don't say, well, how many years? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Years, nigga. Because I honestly can't remember a time where Raw slapped that hard. So with that being said, y'all tell me how much y'all enjoyed Raw. Y'all tell me if y'all think this was the best episode of Raw in years. And make sure y'all like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to your boy, because more types of videos like these are coming. And with that being said, thank you everyone. And shout out to Triple H. We're calling Shawn Michaels the chef. Chef Shawn. Yo, Shawn, you might get your job taken. Because I think we finna have a new chef in town. Alright, but anyway, I'll see y'all outside the next one. Peace.